Good afternoon, all. My name's Gafordin. I work for Warwickshire County Council as a Service Manager for Traffic Control and Information Systems team. And welcome to Nuneaton, by the way, so I'll say that. We're on the border from, not too far from Warwickshire from here. Okay, so I'm going to update you. At the autumn event of Transport Technology Forum, we talked about upgrading the management of electronic traffic equipment, the code of practice. That work is led by myself and Steve George, who is here today, I'm pleased to say. Uh, the Road Liaison Group requested the UK Lighting and Technology Board to update the two documents on street lighting and the management of electronic traffic equipment. I'm on board member of the UK Lighting and Technology Board, so I'm leading that project. Dave Denser from the Welsh Government Office, he's leading on the street lighting aspect of the works. As you can see, those two documents are written and placed within the well-managed highway infrastructure, so they're asset management documents. So what they're basically saying, these assets that are on the highway, how they should be maintained and looked after through the whole life cycle experience. As Darren has mentioned, this document was published in 2011, so it's more than 14 years old, coming up to 15 years old. It has 5 sections to it. You know, the introduction, then the policy and the provision, why, how to look after the maintenance of those assets that are on the highway, and what is good practice at that stage. Section 2 looks on the policies and the provision of that service. So what is our obligation once we put something on the highway? What is the requirements and what standards we should be adhering to? Section 3 looks at reactive maintenance, how we do that on various assets. So it goes through traffic signals, automatic rise and bollards, CCTV cameras, those kind of assets that are on the highway, and preventive maintenance as well. That's section 4. And again, on the various elements from that side. And the 5th section is on procurement, and then the appendices highlighting typical forms that we can use when we're doing SATs and good practices, at that case studies that were done. It's quite a large document. I think it's got 140 pages. So I hope people were using it. It's like what we say is 14 years old. So people are referring to it to justify maintenance requirements when they're bidding for money, especially revenue money. It has 19 recommendations within that document, which me and Steve are currently reviewing and going through those and seeing if they still fit for the purpose, what we can add, and this is where we will require your input as well, what can be amended. Like number 1, that any asset that you're providing on the network, is it fit for the purpose? Is it going to deliver the objectives that you want? So what might be fit for in my county, in Stratford and Kenilworth and in Stratford, is it still fit for purpose in Rugby and Nuneaton? So you're putting up what are the customer's needs and delivering that service that is fit for the purpose. On recommendation 15, where it says if you have an urban traffic control system or a remote monitoring system, if it detects a fault, it's dealt seamlessly, passed on to a fault management system, and that goes to the principal contractor who can attend the fault. Hopefully, the engineer who turns up on that site has the necessary spare parts to carry out to repair, and has that same, that skill set. So the principal maintenance contractor will send the relevant engineer to address that fault. Number 16, I think it is, on that one. On that one is saying that when you're designing a scheme, as a designer, you should look at the whole life cycle of that scheme, from the design, installation, maintenance, and decommissioning. So you look at that approach. It's no use putting some assets on the highway, and then when it comes to maintain it over the number of years, they become unmaintainable because there's nowhere to park safely, or the vegetations are in the way. So you take the whole life cycle into account. Number 18, I think it looks at the maintenance contract. Whoever you're asking to maintain those assets, have they got the competencies to carry out the service? So different contracts you will have, you want to make sure that that company that you're appointed is fit for purpose for carrying out those tasks. So it's quite challenging to look at those. We have taken to deliver the update of the code of practice in 3 stages. The first stage was to review the current document. And I'm pleased to say Steve's done excellent work on that. He's gone through the 5 sections of it, and he's highlighted what we can remove, what we need updating, or what's new technology that we need to add to the code of practice, and I'll come to that. So I'm pleased to say stage 1 is almost complete, not quite complete, but we're almost there. As part of the stage 1, we also, like Darren has mentioned, the manual for smarter streets. We want to link the code of practice, the good practices that are being delivered to this code of practice on the highway maintenance of the assets. We want to and the next stage we are looking at, and this is where we possibly need, well, not possibly, we need your help, is to look at new and emerging technologies that we're deploying on the highway network. Andy talked about DSIS, control and numbering system, so we want to do that. Yesterday we talked about communication update and the ITS side and connected autonomous vehicles, to link onto that. Migration to LED signal, as Nicola Bell from Glasgow talked about that yesterday, how important that is. And we just seen from James' presentation, the cost savings that you can achieve and the reliability in deploying LED signal head. And Isabella talked about data security, the new things that we really need to mention and include within the code of practice that wasn't previously mentioned, included in that document. So, like I said, stage 1 is almost complete. I'm pleased to say so. We're now moving into stage 2. That is coming up with the new document, drafting that new document, and that's where we need your help. As ourselves, we need to work together to look at what is the best practice and how to deliver this service in the near future. So, if we can have that information from yourself, from local authorities and consultancies and industry, that would be really helpful. And within the next 6 months, what we want to do is draft that document, possibly talk about it again at the autumn conference, and then hopefully a year's time we might have a final publication that we can launch at the next annual event for this conference. So that's what really stage 2 and 3 is a significant piece of work that we need to deliver and achieve within that short time scale of that 6 months. The benefit is highway authorities and industry is really, and Jackie Davis, I'll say the full name now. People normally send people just refer to her Jackie, so I'll say that. She delivered a really motive presentation yesterday, highlighting the problems that local authorities and unfortunately, if it wasn't Jackie standing, if it was one of my engineers, they will be telling you the same story. Okay, some authorities are capital rich, not all now, unfortunately, but we're definitely all revenue poor because of the aging assets. Traffic signals especially have the life cycle of 15 years. That's a very short time scale. You just put it in, got it validated, working for 5 years, and soon after is ready to replace. This is why we need to look at the whole life cycle of it, put fully ducted systems in, and look at the technology that we can deploy that has a slightly a longer life cycle. Now, if it's well maintained, then we might get more than 15 years out. We might be moving to 20 years and 25 years. But that's why I'm hoping that we can do it. So it will benefit the highway authorities and industry as well. I'm pleased to say it's supported by Transport Technology Forum from this side financially, because obviously my time is voluntary, from local government, so I'm helping on that. But Steve is a small SME and is assisting with that work, so we have to pay for his work. So this is really a plea, and thank you for allowing me to come, Darren, to address the audience. Really, we need your help to shape this code of practice. And as Darren said, it's no use once we publish it, you say, well, it should have said this and it should have said something else as well. So it's coming from that side. Once we've got a draft document, I'm pleased to say we've set up an editorial group that will help us assemble across it. So it won't be just myself and Steve doing that. We've got other people from the industry. If you want to be part of the editorial team, please let me know, and we can consider that and put you on the list to assist with delivering that service. So that's my email address, and I've got the Steve email address. So I'm hoping people are now going to take their phones out, get that QR code, because that QR code will allow you to fill your name, address, and send that contact details to me that you're willing to assist with the delivery of the rewrite of the code of practice. And that's it really for myself. A quick update.